Hello, photography Q&A here at DEDPXL.com. This question comes to me via Brad Cook. Brad, you say that you have a 24-70 2.8 lens, but maybe 70 millimeter isn't the most flattering to do serious headshots and portraits. Should I get the 85 millimeter or work with what I got? Well, Brad, I, as a previous Canon shooter, used to have the 24-70 2.8, and that was a good kind of like knockabout lens, and it kind of did a lot of things. But honestly, I never really liked it for a, let's say, headshot lens. Now, of course, you can shoot portraits at all sorts of, focal lengths. Lindsay Adler just recently did a blog post for the Sigma blog talking about wide angle lenses for portraits and how she, uses that and likes that. I'll provide a link. But for the classic headshot, like this kind of business right here, honestly, 70 millimeter didn't quite have the perspective compression that I wanted for a headshot lens. And I do. I like the 85. So, well, I don't want to be that guy who says, oh yeah, go buy the lens. If you're working your 24-70 2.8 and it's just leaving you hanging and you're just not loving it, then yes, the 85 millimeter is probably your next step. Now, there are a lot of discussions in the photography industry, and there have been for years, of 85 millimeter or 105 millimeter as the perfect headshot lens. I don't really prescribe to either one of those camps. I love an 85 and I love 105 as well. So try an 85 millimeter 1.8. That's an inexpensive lens, whether you're Nikon or Canon, whatever you're shooting. Maybe you can rent it. Try aperture rent, try borrow lenses, try lens to go, lens rooms to go, lens to rent, that other one. Give that a try, Brad. I think you will be happy with that. I have a question here from Bill Manning. And this one's funny because it says, my name is Bill Manning and I work with your brother Mitch. Say hi to my brother. And say we've talked a lot about you. I've shot for a few years before and it felt like I was stagnant in my work. I know what you mean there, Bill. So my question for you is, now that I'm pushing to learn more, I've reached out to a few friends who have modeled in the past. We've talked about concepts and I'm scouting for location. What tips do you have for finding unique locations without spending all of your time or money finding the right place? That's a good question. My first question back to you, Bill, is what are the pictures you're trying to create? Are you looking for interior locations? Are you looking for exterior locations? Do you want urban locations? Do you want rural locations? The type of photograph that you're hoping to make is going to start, deciding what sort of location you want. Now, typically what I do is I'm looking for locations that I can kind of drop in at any time of day or when the light might be nice, and I can park somewhere easily. My client can park somewhere easily. We can go, we can set up a light or two. We're not going to get hassled by, police or officials of any kind. And one thing I do a lot is if I'm driving around town and I'm going from point A to point B, I typically have my very typical route that I take to places. And what I try to do a lot is vary my route. If I'm going from point A to point B, I may go a different street or go drive through a different neighborhood that I'm typically not driving through on a daily basis. I'm always location scouting. Always, always, always location scouting. I'm always kind of making notes, taking pictures with my phone of, hey, that could be a good spot. That'd be a nice evening location. That would be a great morning location. Basically, I'm always location scouting. Now, interior locations are a little more difficult because you have to make relationships to get access. So let's say you're hanging out at a restaurant or a pub or a coffee shop and there's some little corner of it and you go, oh, I'd love to shoot there. make nice with the owner, make nice with the people who work there and say, hey, I'm a photographer, I'm working on my portfolio. Would you mind if I ever came in here one morning or afternoon or evening and did a quick photo shoot? There are many times that I reach out to just people I know and say, hey, I'm looking for this kind of place. Do you know anyone who might know something? So ask your friends, work that network that you have, any social media reach you have, start putting your feelers out there, and then drive a different way to work every day or drive home a different way. Location scouting, but sometimes it's just, yeah, you're gonna spend time. You're gonna spend a half afternoon just driving aimlessly around some part of town that you've never been to before looking for something. Lastly, you usually don't need much. It's amazing the kind of pictures that you can make with just a little bit of something. So you may not need a massive vista of a place to get a shot that looks like maybe it was a massive vista. You just need a little bit. And with the cheating of your lens and your viewpoint and your composition, you can make an abandoned lot look like you're in the middle of a field in Montana. You can make a little tiny corner of a restaurant or an antique store and make it look like you rented some old mansion for your shoot. So, God, it feels like a lame-ass answer, but that's all I've got for you, Bill. So say hey to my brother Mitch, and thank you very much for sending in your question. And if you would like to have a question answered here on the Dead Pixel blog, please send it to me at question@deadpixel.com, DEDPXL.com. Question@deadpixel.com. Thank you very much to our sponsors of LumaPro, Midwest Photo Exchange, Triple Scoop Music, and the Factory Press. And I'm out.
Your world is so far from the one I know.
Coffee cup. Train.